Hey there. For those who even watch these videos of the lawnmowers and tractors, and also this is mainly for anyone new who comes to my channel or finds these videos in a search. So that's why I'm introducing this again. This is my 1986 Craftsman 2 yard tractor. It has a 16 horsepower Briggs & Stratton opposed twin engine. It originally had a 44-inch deck, but now has a 38-inch deck because the 44 was irreparable. And the reason I'm reintroducing this is because this is going to be the first of a series of, I guess I would call it a restoration project. Now that I've gotten it running, and it's been running for almost a year, I want to get it so that it's virtually rust-free. Now, I don't know if I can really get that far because I don't have very good skills with painting and body work, but I'll learn as I go. So I think I'd like to start this off with a quick as possible list of the things that I've done to get it to where it is today. In no particular order. I replaced the battery. I bypassed the clutch safety switch because it rusted off and it was no longer useful. I replaced the air filter, cleaned the carburetor, and rebuilt the fuel pump. I replaced the fuel line and the fuel filter and cleaned out the gas tank, and also replaced the gas cap with one that not only has this rubber cover on it, but also just hangs out. I replaced the choke knob and cable. That's now because the old one was seized. I wired the headlights to go up to the ignition switch and to the headlight switch so it runs off the battery instead of the engine's alternator. That way I can run it brightly enough at a lower RPM. I changed the oil twice, once to 5W30 and then back to SAE 30, whatever. I put a tow hitch on the back, which I don't even use for anything anymore. I replaced the drive belt. I freed up the front steering spindles because they were kind of seized up. I had to grease them. I replaced the steering bushing and and a couple other components off the steering system that I broke trying to get it all apart. Clutch pedal had to be freed, and as I said before, I replaced the mowing deck. I had a spring that I put on the lever so it stays down when I start it, because it likes to jump up sometimes. I cleaned off the cylinder heads with a wire wheel and a drill to get the most of the carbon off. I replaced the front wheels. The original ones were flat, or one of them was anyway. Let's see. I guess that's it for the mechanical issues. I had the seat taped up because I cracked it several times. There used to only be two spots up here that were cracked in these two corners. Eventually it all got cracked because it's dried. I repainted, actually today I repainted these headlights on the inside and out because I wanted them to be brighter, and I wanted to see if the silver paint I had would match up to the one on here, which it actually doesn't. The Craftsman silver is a little more duller than that. I cleaned off the headlight lenses. I repainted the front grille, and as you can see now, it has the red stripes again. I did that a month ago. What else? I used a hot glue gun to mend the crack here so it doesn't go in or out when I push the throttle up or down. I think that's pretty much it. I did damage the button on the deck lever. I'm going to get a new one of these because the only thing I can do now is adjust it to any place, which I'm thankful to have that instead of the 6-position system. So I guess now I can discuss my plans for it. I think I'm going to maybe mow with it one last time, and then I'm going to retire it for the season. It's going to stay parked somewhere under a tarp, and once every week or so I'll take one part off of it and repaint it completely. I'll sand down the rust and just put a new coat of black spray enamel on it. I don't really want to turn this into a professional or expensive job or anything. It's really just to get rid of the rust on it and make it all nice and clean again. I think I'd start with the seat plate and maybe the bottom of the seat too. And there's the back plate. Then there's the frame and the pieces that go on the frame, which it's going to be tough because I had to remove a lot of stuff for that. The front axle, the shaft for the clutch pedal, oh yeah, I also repainted, this was recent, I repainted the battery plate and the firewall underneath of it, the ones with the X on it, and I replaced these bolts with new ones because the other ones were really rusty. That's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to replace a lot of hardware if it's really rusty. Just replace it all with nice shiny stuff that I'll just make sure to lubricate every once in a while or put anti-seize on it. Graphite. So maybe I'll do a video of it mowing one last time, and then that'll be it. And the rest of these videos will be of updates that I do to it every once in a while. So thanks for joining the series. If you continue to watch, stay tuned for future videos. That's it for now.